Hi, my name is Kathy Strauss. I'm the superintendent for the Chesapeake Animal Control, which is where we are today, and I'm also the legislative liaison for the Virginia Animal Control Association. I'm going to talk to you today about the animal bills that were before the 2008 session of the General Assembly. After my presentation, you'll be hearing from some other people that will give you more details on the individual bills. What I will do today is just an overview. House Bill 5. The patron was Delegate Bobby Orrock. This bill eliminates the use of gas chambers for companion animals. This bill had come up many times before, and issues had to do with the implementation date and the cost for switching over to injectable euthanasia. Thanks to some grants and some hard work by some people, funding and training was provided to the remaining jurisdictions using gas chambers, and they were able to convert. This probably contributed greatly to the success of this bill this session. House Bill 207 limits pound inspections to where animals are housed. This has to do with animal shelters that designate a certain part of their shelter as housing for impounded strays. That patron was Delegate Morgan, and that bill passed. House Bill 537 allows treasurers to destroy the rabies receipts that they've received from the veterinarians once they've entered the data that they need. This allows them not to have to store huge volumes of paper. That patron was Delegate Orrock, and that bill passed.
If the members of the committee do not feel that we have a problem in this Commonwealth as it relates to large commercial dog breeding operations, if the committee does not feel that they are different and thereby should be handled somewhat differently than your standard hunt club procedures and breeding operations, then really you probably should oppose this bill. But if you believe that the events that we saw and the facilities that we saw in Southwest Virginia are facilities that do demand a higher level of scrutiny than the average citizen, then I hope you'll support this measure.
House Bill 538 was a big one this year. That is the bill that defined commercial breeders and set forth some strictures and some guidelines for how they operate, as well as providing for inspection by animal control and assigning duties to Commonwealth attorneys to enforce this. We'll give you the details later by another speaker. House Bill 655. This was a bill patroned by Delegate Morgan, and it will allow judges some discretion in determining whether or not a dog is dangerous. Under this bill, a judge can look at the nature and severity of the injury and make a determination on whether or not he or she thinks the dog should be declared dangerous. That bill passed. House Bill 656 was another biggie this year. That was the animal fighting bill. And a lot of changes happened this year too. It was a good year for animal fighting bills in 2008, and you'll get more details on that later. That bill did successfully pass. House Bill 999 is a bond bill for animals. As all of us know that have ever held animals for a lengthy cruelty or fighting case, those animals and their housing and care place incredible burdens on us in terms of our resources. Prior to this bill, a locality would have to enact an ordinance in order to require a bond from the animal owner. This bill, House Bill 999, patroned by Delegate Bell, makes it state law and allows localities to request a bond. House Bill 1331 didn't have a lot of implications yet, but it will in the future. If you've been in animal control a long time and you finally memorized all those code sections, we got to start at the beginning now, because this was a recodification bill to recodify, get rid of redundancies, and renumber and reorganize all the animal laws. So we should see more on that shortly. That bill passed. Senate Bill 26 was a bill by patron Roscoe Reynolds, and this was an interesting little bill because it got almost no media attention. Yet it's a very important bill. Senate Bill 26 adds dogfighting to the Commonwealth of Virginia racketeering statute. Interesting. Senate Bill 592 was the Senate version of the animal fighting bill, kind of a companion piece, if you will. And that bill successfully passed. You'll get more information about what it contained later. And finally, Senate Bill 663. The patron was Senator Blevins from my jurisdiction in Chesapeake. And this bill will allow localities to increase the fees on animals impounded more frequently, say for habitual offenders, or as we like to call them in Chesapeake, the frequent flyers. And it allows some discretion and some wiggle room on establishing your fees. So this will benefit us. And that was it. Those are all the bills. Even though it feels like we just finished with the 2008 session, plans are already in place for where we go in 2009. There may be many more issues that come up. One that we definitely want to revisit is training for animal control officers, and we hope to be more successful in 2009. Another issue that I think we can expect to see is an effort to extend protective orders to pets. This has to do with domestic situations when victims of domestic violence are afraid to leave their home because of what might happen to their pet. There are states that extend protective orders to pets in domestic situations, so we definitely want to explore that. Legislation doesn't happen in a vacuum. All of us want certain things for the people that enforce the law and for the animals that we want to protect. If we don't get involved and make our voices heard, these things won't happen. You can help. Join the Virginia Federation of Humane Societies, join the Virginia Voters for Animal Welfare, join VACA, the Virginia Animal Control Association. Be a part of something and work for the common good. We need all of you. Thanks.